What's up, you guys? This is a recap of the week of April 13th through the 17th. This was a pretty wild week that we had. Very choppy, very choppy. Yesterday, we had one of the biggest intraday swings that I've ever seen. Look at this thing. This thing's going 4 points on a day, going from all the way down, V-shaped recovery, all the way back up to the highs, and then bam, right back down to the lows, and then after that it trended right back up to the highs. So this one is just washing everybody out, whether you're long or short. This thing was taking you for a ride. And then after the market closed, bam, it did this huge move. This was news that the Trump administration said that we're going to be opening up the economy in phases, and everybody got excited. There was news that Gilead's drug was curing people really quickly, and that thing popped yesterday. Huge. Look, it went from $76 all the way up to $89 a share. So it looked like this yesterday, and then all day long just kind of trending up, and then pow, all the way up to almost $90 a share. And today it's trending back down. It retraced about half of that move. But yeah, so a lot of good things happening in the market right now. Potential vaccine right here. This is phase 2 or 3, I'm not sure, but they still need to do a placebo test where they give people a fake drug and see if they react to it. Just to see if the brain is like, playing games with them. But anyway, huge week. Let's see what happened the past 5 days. Let's take a look at the SPY. Alright. So the SPY looked like this for the past 5 days. Let me make this. Here we go. So it looked like, where's Monday? Right here. So this is what it looked like. It started off the week low, then it kind of trended up, whipped right back down, and then pow. So last week I talked about the market and how I was overall bearish, and I said that it dropped huge, and then it looked like it was going to roll over. But then when it didn't roll over, it popped right back up and squeezed a ton of people for losses, and then it was hanging around 180. And I said, you know what, this might go up to 292, where the 61.8% retracement, the Fibonacci chart, and then it could come back down after it hits this resistance right here. And I was hoping that if it did that, then it'll probably start rolling back down again. But here I wanted it. I was hoping that it was going to roll over this way, but it held up on news that more stimulus, news that the economy is going to be reopening again, and now it's right back up here. So right here I drew some trend lines. Let me take the Fibonacci out of here. I drew some trend lines. So this is a rising wedge. A rising wedge is it looks bullish, right? So typically what happens is when a wedge starts tightening up and it's going up, it usually, once it breaks this, it breaks down. It breaks down this way. So we need to be careful of that. So normally it usually doesn't do one of these, like pop straight up like that. But this market is being propped up by the Fed and the and the government, making announcements and things like that. So, anything's possible right now. But anyway, so learning chart patterns is really important while trading. The levels, again, we're looking at 292, 293 as a resistance level. So here we're getting really close to it. So, maybe on Monday people get excited, see that this popped up, maybe the vaccine is near, we're going to reopen the economy, maybe this thing pops up, hits 292, 293, maybe like goes above it a little bit, and then reality again sets in, and then it starts to fade right back off. Because what you want to see after this huge move in the past, I don't know, was it 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks now? This was the end of March, so yeah, almost 3 weeks. You want to see these people who bought here start to take profits up here, okay? Because you're hitting huge resistance zone right here. You see how it bounced here, went back up, fell below, tried to go back up, stopped, and then fell back down. This is now resistance. This is a huge resistance area right here. See? Oh, look at that. We even touched it right there, and it went right back down. You see that? I mean, I wasn't even paying attention to this side. But yeah, 292 on the Fibonacci, 293 right here, resistance zone. Okay, so right here, this might go back up on Monday because people are going to get excited, and then it might chop in here, and then once it breaks this uptrend line right here to the downside, it might start falling again. So we need to be careful with that. So, next week I probably, wouldn't trade this thing next week. Just watch it, because you need confirmation. Once it breaks this uptrend line right here, you might want to think about going short with your risk of losses, in this resistance zone. So here, you go short, and if it goes against you, you start covering up here for small losses. Otherwise, you start to see huge gains on the way down. All right, so that's how we're supposed to trade this. What did I trade this week? So let's take a look at this week. What is this? Monday, Tuesday. Yeah. So this week, what did I trade? I still have a short position, a huge short position in Win. I'm down on that position quite a bit, but the put contract doesn't expire till May, the second week of May anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We still have time. But this week, yesterday, I bought the SPY calls. When it was chopping around like this, when it was whipping everybody back and forth, I bought SPY calls because I had a feeling that this market's being propped up, and news is going to come soon that that something's going to happen where we're going to hear something good, and then it's going to spike this thing. That was my thesis for this week, because it was holding up pretty well. You see how it's like just uptrend, just holding up. This uptrend line. You gotta go with the momentum here. See, after this huge spike, consolidation here, and it held, and then the squeeze where people lost a lot of their accounts, and then it continued uptrend. So when it reached up here, I'm like, you know what, it's gonna keep going. The momentum is still upward until we reach this 292, 293 zone. So here, I bought some SPY calls, and I sold it up here for about a $1,700 gain. Let's take a look right here. SPY calls. I bought the 280 calls, and I sold it for a $1,700 gain. Alright, so now I'm out. I'm not doing anything. I actually am playing currently Boeing. Boeing had huge news that they're going to start going back to work, and we saw this move here. You know, this thing can move. Look at this. In 1, 2, 3 days, from 90 bucks to 180, it doubled in 3 days. So this thing can move. So right now, this is a chart pattern that I like. It's Nate Michaud's ABCD pattern. I covered this in a previous video that I made, like I think it was like 10 years ago. So basically, the run up is your A, and then the initial sell off is your B, and then your cover spike. So when people short this, they cover. This is your C, and then your D is where it kind of hovers, right? It just hangs out, right? And then E is when it breaks above this high right here, and it keeps going. So this is the ABCD patterns right here. Okay, when you see a huge run up and then sell off, and then it rebounds, and then it kind of hovers around, and then when it reaches 160, people are going to get excited. They're going to start buying, and shorts who are hoping for a fade back down are going to start covering. And then when it gets to about right here, more people are going to get super excited that this is a huge breakout, and the shorts are going to try to fight it here, and then this thing is just going to rip higher. So we know how high this thing goes, right? Let's take a look. 10-year chart, bam, $440 stock, and it's trading here at 150s right here. What year is this? 2015, 2016. So we're at the 2016 lows. We're hanging out here. Okay, this thing has huge potential, right? Oh my God, you can triple your money in this stock if you bought one share right now. I mean, you could triple your money if this thing goes back up to where it was trading, you know, not a few months ago actually. So yeah, I'm in this one. I sold some puts actually at 160. I sold puts at 160 for May, and I earned $1,800 in premium for that. And also, all I have to do is just sit on it for a month. If it goes above 160, I keep the 1,800 bucks. If it doesn't, let's say it hangs out here, I have to purchase 100 shares at $160 a share. So I mean, it's fine. I'll keep this thing until it goes back up to $400 a share. So either way, win-win for me. I want this stock here at the 2016 lows, and so if I do have to pay for it at 160, I'll do it. Fine, it's fine. I'll even pay up to $200 for this thing. I'll pay half price for it. So yeah. I mean, look at this thing. You know, right. What is this? Right here, when this the country started locking down, you know, this thing was hovering around 320 bucks a share, and then everyone got scared because of the coronavirus, and you know, people not flying anymore, so now it's just bouncing around here. And so when we get out of this thing, you know for sure that this thing's going right back up, because you know, the world needs airplanes, and you got to replace the old ones, and Boeing is the biggest airplane producer. All right, so that's what I'm playing. There's a couple stocks that I was actually taking a look at that were beaten down because of the coronavirus. Another one I like is, I'm looking at fun, Cedar Fair. This is the one that operates the Great America theme parks. This one was trading around 55 bucks a share. You know, after the coronavirus lockdown, bam, 13 bucks, got smashed all the way down here. You know, Warren Buffett says, you know, you got to be greedy when others are fearful, right? This is complete fear here. And if you want to buy low and sell high, these are the kind of plays that you want to start looking at, because everyone got scared out, and now it's just hovering down here. I mean, you can double your money. You can double your money when this thing's over. You double your money. these stocks are on my watch list. I'm watching. I'm trying to look for good companies with solid financials. Apple is solid, has tons of cash, but it's at it's near its highs right now. So I don't want to touch it. I mean, the upside potential is pretty small, I think. So if I were to get Apple, I'd probably buy it, somewhere around 240ish. Let this thing fade off. Because this run up right here, this is people profit taking right now. Let's take a look at that. Here, 212. Spike, consolidate, uptrend, and now profit taking. So we are here, profit taking. Okay, but on Monday, people might get excited because of the news of the vaccine and economy opening, so this could spike up a little bit, maybe hit 300 and then fade off. So that's my thesis for next week. If you bought anything, buy small, because if it fades off again, you want to make sure you have enough money to add again when it gets cheap again. So don't be buying up here. Buy when it comes back down a little bit. Let's take a look at Amazon. Man, this thing hit new all-time highs. That's crazy. New all-time highs. Look at this. This is where it was before the lockdown. Smashed down to 1600 and then ripped 800 points. Look at this. Oh my goodness. See, this is profit taking now. Look at this. People bought. These are people who are shorting because of this move right here. And then bam, squeeze again. Here's where you start selling and taking profits. And if you're brave and you have lots of money, this is where you could potentially be shorting it here with your risk up here. Okay, so you short here, and if it gets up to here, you cover for small losses, because this thing will take you for an 800 point ride. Okay. This is Six Flags theme parks. I'm looking at this one too. Again, this one, $50, just like Cedar Fair. Smashed down to single digits, and now looks like it's about to break out of this consolidation to the upside. You see how it's hanging out up here near the top. If it was hanging down here at the bottom, you would expect it to fall a little bit more. Here, since it's hanging around the top, there's a potential for a breakout above this level, and then maybe head higher toward maybe the 30, and then you have an air pocket right here from 32 to 35. Gap fill here. Usually stocks want to fill these gaps when they come back up. They want to fill these gaps in between. Alright, let's see. Win. I'm still holding a short position. I mean, this thing can take you for a ride too. So I mean, I'm down a lot on this one, but it's fine. I can wait it out. I actually own Win stock in my other account, so I mean, I'm losing in one, but I'm gaining the other, so it's kind of a wash. But yeah, so this one, potential short still. But I mean, this one could probably take you to 100. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the 30-day chart. Look at this thing. Let's remove these trend lines. Remove. Alright, let's go 6 month. Alright, so here, resistance zone. This is near the 100. So this breaks to the upside here. Above 83. This could take you to 100. But it could stop here and fade off and head back down again. So again, next week is a very important week to watch out for. I probably wouldn't trade next week because this is a zone where we're hitting resistance and it could just fade off here. So be careful. But yeah, I mean, if we hit this area down here again, that's a retest of the bottom. That's a good place to start buying again. Netflix. Let's take a look at this one before we head to SPY. The same thing, all-time highs, just like Amazon. This is the lockdown. This is when the stimulus was announced and signed. This is the rebalancing, the quarterly rebalancing. This is people getting excited. This is people getting squeezed right there, and then profit taking. Let's take a look. So this is the run up, and topped out, and then sell off for the profit taking. So there it is. Okay. What else? So small stocks, 6 fun. I like Oxy. Still watching. It's an energy play, so this probably won't come back for maybe a couple of years. But I mean, if you're a bottom feeder and you want to buy low and sell high, these are the companies to buy: the energy stocks, the airlines, the theme parks, the casinos. Everything is basically down right now, and you want to buy the ones that people are afraid of. What else? Solid companies like Walmart hitting all-time highs, unfazed by the coronavirus lockdown. Virtually unfazed. Nobody was. So, what is this? Like March. This is the lows, the spike, and then the consolidation. So you kind of see the ABCD pattern here, and you see the run up, the sell off, and then you have the rebound, consolidation, and then break above the highs here, and then it's going higher. See that? That's the ABCD pattern. Alright, let's see anything else. Costco, strong stock. These were the highs. It's right back up to the highs again. Look at that. Okay. What else? Peloton. I talked about this when this one was right about here in the 26s, 27s. You do see a little bit of the ABCD going here. You see this, the run up, sell off,